It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bills and the Broncos coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Josh Allen of the Bills, Teddy Bridgewater of the Broncos.
And I think for me, and this isn't an original thought by any stretch, and probably for these two head coaches as well, the key for them is going to be limiting the turnovers, limiting the free possessions. I mean, this isn't saying anything you don't already know, but you've got to be able to make the most out of your drives and see if your defense can help you out and take the ball away from the other team and give you a few extras.
And off we go from Denver. Squib kick picked up near the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. But there aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. On 1st down, Allen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Flushed out right. And Allen will have the 1st down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a...
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. 7th play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Allen. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills' opening drive yields 3. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL.
A Pro Bowl quarterback early in his career in Minnesota before a horrific knee injury slowed down his progress. He's a more than capable quarterback and makes the most of his opportunities when he's a starter in the NFL.
The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Melvin Gordon, 73 yards. And the Broncos on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Squib kick picked up near the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Allen. And finding Emmanuel Sanders here. And bulldozing his way through. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play here for Buffalo. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Allen to throw once more. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Bills have retaken the lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7.
Personal foul. What's up, man?
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Melvin Gordon leading Denver's offense back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of...
It got his man complete, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, 69 yards, and the Broncos have once again taken the lead. McManus now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. On third down, they go with Singletary. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on fourth down. On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Denver has Deontay Spencer deep to return. This is taken at the 18. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. Fights through and now a crease. There goes Melvin Gordon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Melvin Gordon as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. So Melvin Gordon, he has been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. No more for getting the tough yards, but he breaks off a big one there.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Squib kick picked up near the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. Allen now on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big gain there for the Bills. The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Bills. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball. And
he's got a man complete. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Cortland Sutton, 75 yards. And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air. Now Bridgewater will lead the troops up to go for two. Bridgewater will try and throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is into the end zone for two more as the lead moves up to 16. And that was the old QB one-man band play there in the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants at the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Squib kick picked up near the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. This is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their...
There goes Melvin Gordon. 30. 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Squib kick picked up near the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Now Allen. Sanders has the first down and much more. And finally brought down at the 43.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short.
Singletary loses it. It's picked up by the Broncos. There he goes left side. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go? And the Broncos get there and take him down. Aaron Browning gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Allen. Incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause. Now Allen again.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And Sanders has got it complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 181 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Gordon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Melvin Gordon, 45 yards, and the Broncos add on. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25.
The Bills going to take over again on offense. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.